Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sioux Falls Live. I am Patrick Lally, and I am once again down here in the bowels of City Hall, and I'm very happy to have with me Logan Penfield, who is the Housing Development Manager.
Correct.
For the City of Sioux Falls. You today have been talking about some what I think are really cool programs that I don't think anybody knows about, which are the rehab programs. So tell us just a little bit about, basically there's money out there for people to fix their houses and people don't know about it.
Absolutely. So yeah, we run a handful of different rehab programs around the city, mostly owner occupied.
Mhm.
So we income restricted, but it's individuals or families that are at 80% of MFI, median family income, that own their house and need to do necessary home repairs. We offer a zero interest deferred loan to them, which only becomes due at the sale of the house. So the goal is to make sure that the necessary upgrades happen, whether it's weatherization, window repairs, you need a new roof. Most rehab applies to this, but those are the type that we really see a lot of is repairs that help keep that house safe and sanitary. And make sure that the equity stays in it too. That's a big thing for us is we don't want somebody, because they aren't able to put a new roof on this year, losing equity in their house. And when your house is the biggest asset that you purchase in your lifetime, that's a big financial commitment. And it would also be a big financial setback. So these programs directly target homeowners or owners of mobile homes to try to maintain that housing stock, because it's always a challenge to build new affordable housing. So we can't forget to maintain the stuff that we do have out there in the community.
It's a lot cheaper to keep a house up than it is to build a new one in this day and age. And we know how this goes. One thing goes wrong, doesn't get fixed, and it just starts to snowball on somebody. Pretty soon they can't afford the house.
Absolutely. And we, based on the time of year, we try to target certain things that are of higher need.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in the winter, it's making sure that the heater unit, if there's a problem with that, gets fixed. So if somebody applies and they have a more pressing need, we try to move that up in the queue a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, once you're approved, you stay approved. It's just a matter of time of lining up contractors and trying to make sure that you can get everything done in a timely manner. Some things you can only do in the summer or in fall. Some things you can do year round. So it does get shifted around, but we try to really target that. If you need a heater for the winter, or if you need to have a roof repaired before, fall, we try to target those first, but there's funding available. We use our federal community development block grant to do this, which is an ongoing grant that we've received from the federal government. I think this program has loans back as old as 30 years, because we don't require repayment. As long as you live in the house, it's 0%, it's deferred. And then if you sell that house, we will just take out of that what is owed, which is a pretty good deal for the homeowner.
Yeah, it's a fantastic deal. Do you have any idea of the demographics of people who take advantage of this? Because immediately I think of elderly people, keeping them in their homes. Is that a big piece of it, or how does that break down?
We do have the demographics. That's in our annual comprehensive report that we have to give to HUD.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the breakdown right in front of me, but they're all income restricted. Everybody that gets involved in this program is at max 80% of the median family income, which, you look at a core family of 4 people, that's $72,550. And, that's obviously the high end that can apply. You see, I think we did 111 projects with this program specifically last year, and that was 240 people that were part of those projects. So the average family size was about 2.5.
Do you run out of money?
Yeah. So running out of money isn't the best way to put it, because it's
Really?
an ongoing program
Yeah.
that we get funding through the federal government on an annual basis for.
Got it.
That said, the way that the funding allocation comes from the federal government isn't always in the same timeline every single year, because it's based upon when the federal government gets their full year allocation done. So if there's a short-term continuing resolution, that can always push that back a little bit. But we can actually apply for up to, I think it's 15% of our next year's program grant and start accessing that ahead of time. We also supplement this program with some city funds at times as well. But yeah, I mean, toward the end of the year, you start running lower on funding while knowing that there's going to be more coming at a certain period of time. And so how do you manage that going forward? And we have, like I said, at that point, it's okay, what do we need to make sure gets done first? And what can wait 2 months, 3 months? And some of it needs to wait 2 or 3 months because of the nature of the work. If we're running lower in December and we know in April a new funding's coming, well, the type of work that can only be done in the summer months, they can't even start it till then anyway. So there's ways of making sure that everybody that needs to get into this program actually has access to it.
You're not turning people away.
No, we're not. If you apply and if you meet the requirements, you fill out the application, it might be a push back in the queue, or it might be a TBD as far as when the funding will become available. But that's not something in my 9.5 months here that we've ran into of having to say, no, you have to wait till 6 months. They actually have more trouble finding contractors to do the work in a timely manner than they have with the city getting approved and through the process.
Yeah, I bet that's got to be tough. And again, if you're not adept at finding contractors, it can be even more difficult, right? And we've kind of buried the lead here a little bit, but you're making it easier for people to apply and to find out about this. You haven't been able to do it online yet, and that's coming. That's a pretty big deal for you.
Yes, we're very excited about that. The entire process is going to be moved online middle of the summer. We're targeting the second week of July. Those type of transitions as far as software often become a little bit longer than you hope, but we hope by the end of summer we have moved that online. It'll be easier to apply. It'll be easier to navigate that process. But right now, and I want to make it very clear, it takes time. I mean, this is an application that requires certification of income, and you have to go through your mortgages and make sure your mortgage and your insurance are all current. But we have some really good individuals within our team here in the city that do a great job of helping navigate through that process. And so if anybody is struggling to get through that or just doesn't understand it, call, make an appointment, come sit down with us. We are happy to sit down and walk you through the entire thing.
And people, I want to stress, if you, it's not necessarily you, but if you have a family member or somebody, you have a neighbor, reach out. I just think it's a great program for people that is little known. And if their need is there, you'll find a way to make it work. So give people the resources. I'm going to put all that right in the story here, the story file. You can be able to find everything you need to connect with the housing department and Logan and his people. So do that. Logan, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You people, I'll see very soon. Bye-bye.